To the central region, we'll be getting to Acquah Chrome, very close to Mankessim, and so that's where we're told a 25-year-old trainee nurse was allegedly kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and murdered by a chief and a pastor. Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kodina will be joining us shortly. He'll be telling us more about that. But first, the National Petroleum Authority, in collaboration with the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors under the auspices of the Ministry of Energy and the African Refiners Distributors Association, is organizing the Ghana International Petroleum Conference, GIPCON 2022. The event will be held at the Kempinski Hotel, Gold Coast City, Accra, from the 28th to the 30th of September 2022. The theme for this year's conference is Energy Transition and the African Petroleum Downstream Context, Prospects, Challenges, and the Way Forward. The special guest of honor for the event is His Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana and Honorable Minister for Energy Matthew Poku Prempeh, also delivering an address. The conference is designed to actively bring to the fore the downstream petroleum industry's perspectives and guidance on issues of governmental policy and regulatory framework. GIPCON 2022 will witness a convergence of regulators and downstream industry stakeholders from across West Africa's sub-region and beyond. It is a unique occasion to connect with many specialists in the downstream petroleum industry from all over the world. For registration, participation, opportunities for exhibition and sponsorship, kindly visit gipcon.com. And getting cash on the go from an ABSA ATM is now so easy, even when you do not have your contactless ABSA debit card with you. For the first time in Ghana, you can withdraw money from any ABSA ATM with the ABSA mobile banking app using a QR code. It is easy, safe, and convenient. Simply open your ABSA mobile app, select ATM QR cash to scan the QR code on the ATM screen, follow the prompts, and get your cash out. Easy. That's another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA. Download the ABSA mobile banking app now to get started, or visit the nearest ABSA branch to sign up. And the Minerals Income Investment Fund, the state entity mandated to receive mineral royalties, among other functions, per the Minerals Income Investment Act 2018, Act 978, wishes to remind all licensed and active quarry operators, salt mining operators, limestone mining operators, and sand winners to pay up their overdue royalties into the designated MIIF account at the Bank of Ghana or through the ghana.gov to a platform to avoid sanctions. Separately, all returns must be filed at the nearest Ghana Revenue Authority office and filed with the Finance Department of MIIF or addressed to MIIF or via email at finance@miif.gov.gh. Operators who have not paid mineral royalties from 2021 and between January 2022 and June 2022 are also hereby notified to fulfill this statutory obligation in order to avoid any business inconvenience. MIIF shall commence an interagency nationwide operation to ensure all mining operators within the jurisdiction comply and adhere to Minerals Income Investment Act 2018, Act 978 to the letter. For further information, contact MIIF via nana.tando@miif.gov.gh or call 0201 855660, 0201 855612 or 0201 855664. Kindly visit miif.gov.gh to learn more about the activities of the Mineral Income Investment Fund. But you want a British degree at a fraction of the cost? You want a vibrant student experience in a community that equips you with useful employment skills, taking you one step closer to the career of your dreams? Enjoy all these and more, plus up to 50% scholarship for your degree at Lancaster University, Ghana. Be taught by the finest faculty trained to UK standards at our ultra-modern campus. For more information, visit lancaster.edu.gh. You can also contact us via email at admissions@lancaster.edu.gh or call 0209 607008. Lancaster University, Ghana, the only British university campus in West Africa.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
All right, so let's get to the central region now, because over the last 2 or 3 days, we've been talking about that experience where a 25-year-old trainee nurse allegedly kidnapped, sexually assaulted, murdered and buried in the house of a chief by the chief and his accomplice, a pastor. Richard Kodonyako is our Central Regional Correspondent. He's joined us on the phone. Richard, good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Richard.
Yeah, hi.
Good. Thank you very much for joining us. So, help us understand, before we get to everything that, the residents are saying in the community, per your information, what happened?
Well, so there is this young lady called Georgina Asobotwe, and she is now the deceased, and she is now dead. Okay, so she is a prospective aspiring to become a nursing trainee. She's not entered the nursing training college already. She traveled from Yeji to the Acquah College of Nursing to have an interview. It so happened that the sister's boyfriend, being the pastor, one of the suspects, said that he was around Cape Coast. And so if Acquah travels for the interview, she could come and see him. And so there was that kind of interaction between the two. So after the interview, the suspect, the pastor, called Acquah and said, he'd come to pick her. So Acquah, in her conversation or during the interview process, also saw someone she knew, and so told the person that, well, my sister's boyfriend says that she's coming to pick me. And so the man arrived and picked Acquah. Acquah went missing for 3 weeks, and so there were posters on social media saying that anyone with knowledge about Acquah should come clear with it or contact some numbers that they had displayed. So it went on and on. So in the process, the man or the young man that Acquah had confided in that my sister's boyfriend says she was coming to pick me, alerted people that, well, the last time Acquah was seen was when Acquah said that he was going to get in touch with a man. And so the police started their investigations and then went to arrest the pastor. So in the interrogation, the pastor confessed, yes, according to the police, the pastor confessed that he did that thing, but he didn't do it alone. He was aided by the chief, the Tufuhin of Acquah Krom. They sexually molested Acquah. First, it was kidnapping. They demanded a ransom of 15,000, which the family was unable to pay, and so they sexually molested Acquah, killed her, and then buried her in the chief's apartment. And to prove his case, he led the police to the Tufuhin's residence, where Acquah's body was exhumed from that particular house. So that is the fact of this matter.
Now, quick clarification. So you say the sister of Acquah, her boyfriend is the pastor, right?
Yes.
And this pastor, is he a pastor or a self-styled pastor?
Well, so yesterday, and as the story broke, we've been having some rough times with the police service because they are not giving us information. We do not know even the pastor's name. So you realize that in all the stories that we have done, the pastor's name is completely missing. We do not know the church this pastor pastors. So whether he's a self-styled pastor or a pastor of a known church, we do not know. So it is this morning that the police prosecutors are preparing to put the two before court. So that is where maybe the police will give us information about the identity of the pastor and then the church the pastor worships.
What do the police say is the reason they are unwilling or are unable to give you the identity of the pastor, since they've given you the identity of the chief?
So they say that it is a directive by the IGP, not for the police to give information to the media, not to speak with the media. And so yesterday, the Central Region GJA was very furious and even issued a statement asking or calling on the IGP to review that directive to the Ghana Police Service, the commanders, the regional commander, the district commanders, that should something happen, they should open up to the media, give them information. Otherwise, it allows room for speculation because the story has been running for the past 2 days and the police are not giving any information the media need.
Good. So let's get to the Tufuhin of Ekumfi Acquah Chrome. Now, I know you've been there. You've spoken to the residents of the community. What do they tell you first about this man, and what are their reactions about what is allegedly done?
So Acquah Chrome is a community not far away from Mankessim. So the chief has one of his apartments at Mankessim, and that is why the chief's name is known. The position he occupies at Acquah Chrome is also known. So he comes and he goes. So this pastor is alleged to be the friend of this Tufuhin, and so comes there. So that is all that we know about this Tufuhin, the chief implicated in this case, that he aided the pastor to commit this particular crime. So that is all that we know, and residents are very furious. Some of them are even saying that they should put the laws aside and then bring in the street law where they would be stripped naked, paraded on the principal street of Mankessim to serve as a deterrent to others. But above all, they want justice to take its course because they have nephews, they have nieces, and if such a thing happens to them, they wouldn't take it kindly at all.
Richard Kwadwo Nyako, thank you very much for joining us. We're very grateful to you. We can now listen to the residents, complaining about the action of the Tufuhin.
Omanyana yakayaka dia na hunu say ewo ho no baako ba ye mienu sebele de meka ne so ohene de yensa so ne mu de aban mo angasa mo nya de makoma beto mo yem
do town no bi anwa ada wa ye onfani amanji chi no kwose no onfani ntwegwe na do town obi anwa ada wa ye nkafo no mo bosu yanse nkafo no nje no em mbefu ma bo jan isa ko ba ke bolo we ke be ku na hwe sim blanco mo nanu wo afase fo wo di ma afase mo yem de nka fa amanji chi no kwose onfani ntwegwe na kana fu yina hu na de mo smisi mo na de mo wa ye na wa ye na nkafo no obi kwa no nje o ye bon no nje on fa mo nje ne kwose on fa ni chodo town no de mu kwe de mo pin fu ya an so kan o bon o man one way de ma de na ya so ya bren ya so ya mo ntan
Embrel or Saturday when you visit me, na imprimfu so a wo ho amanu na wo ye the madin bi jan function yansa wo hu da no sabi ya so the man mo ye tua san su sasi na ye binya tie na first of all me ntumi family in ye tuko by wo bi mo ho ma wo timbre ni shewoni se obey mesi mo Saturday wo ye
Super Morning Show.
Right, so there you have it. That's the situation. That's what transpired at Acquah Chrome, very close to Mankessim. I think that the narrative has been Mankessim, but the chief here is Tufuhin of Acquah Chrome, Ekumfi Acquah Chrome. But he has a house in Mankessim, and that's why reference is been made to him. But this aspiring nurse, 25 years, her sister's boyfriend, picks her up, ends up with a chief. And as we have come to know, she's kidnapped. They demand a ransom of 15,000 Ghana cedis. And then, when the family refuses to pay the money, or couldn't pay the money, they kill her after they sexually assaulted her.
A story doesn't get worrying. I mean, listen, ideally, if you were asked to see the chief of a town, you don't have worries about your safety or security. The last person you are likely to think will be connected to or may be related in any way to kidnapping would not be a man that's holding a traditional title of that sort. This is because, by his very nature, he's supposed to protect the people. He's supposed to make the environment safer, be the advocate for some of these things. And even when you're in trouble, one of the safest places you would like to go is go near a man of such authority or somebody with the competence and qualification in that category. So it's it's a bit disheartening to hear that this is not even a child. This is an adult comes to the home of a, and we take it some respect. How on earth are chiefs demanding ransom for kidnapping people? And the other person purported to be in this particular engagement is also a man of God. It is strikingly surprising that a man of God, of all people, will be participating actively in an act of this sort. I mean, you would not think that of all the people in the world, a man like that will be the person who will do something like that. Then you ask yourself, who is then safe? Who is then trustworthy? Who can you keep your kids with and who can you go to? It's some of these things that make it, because listen, this woman has not gotten the job that she wanted. Somebody gives birth to the child, trains up the child up to age 20 and over, and you just want 50,000 cedis. Put differently, 1,500 cedis dollars for the life of a human being at age 20 and over. I mean, how callous can you be? How insensitive can you be to the plight of other people? For all you may know, the family could not raise the 15,000 because this girl is supposed to find a job and feed them. If the breadwinner is the one you have kidnapped, sexually harassed, and killed, how do you expect them to even survive? And to think that even the mere connection, the people who are connected to this event are people that are of the highest repute in society. See how the barometer rankings come to when it comes to traditional authority. Highly ranked people. And aside, I mean, if there's anybody who will feel another person be a bit lower on the morality level, the worst of it is having a pastor who's participating or being believed to be participating in the acts of the sort. Right. I mean, the implications are so wide and dire that you ask yourself, who can you trust? Who can your children trust? And this is, by the grace of God, found out. How about if we're able to at least trace this body? It is very perplexing to real. I mean, of course, this will go through the legal system. But the signals it sends to the people about very trustworthy members of society letting down people and doing just opposite what they are supposed to do. These were not robbers. These were not criminals, or they are not, as in the case of Acquah, they purported to be Nigerians of a very dubious character of any sort. These are people that ordinarily you would give them the highest repute in society. And the way they do not just mistakenly pounce or shoot to kill or a stray bullet caught this girl. They calculated to kidnap. They calculated to sexually harass the person. And beyond that, because they didn't get money. As if those two are not serious enough. Decided to kill and bury the person. I mean, how else can it be terrible?
I mean, nothing about this incident makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't at all. Not the people involved, not the manner in which she was killed and buried. And I'm still hoping, because Richard Kojunyako also talks about the fact that the police is given very little in terms of verifying some of the things that we've heard. We're hoping that as they go to court today, we will understand the charges and we will understand the facts that the police would give. And we hope that the prosecution will also be speedy, because it's very scary. I mean, and this is a small community we are talking about. This is not the entire central region. This is not even Mankessim.
That's true.
So if this is dealt with in a manner that would send us a strong signal to people who have some sort of authority even in our communities, that you can't do this and be free.
That's true.
It's just very, very disturbing, extremely disturbing. This is something that the young lady no fault of hers. She did no wrong at all.
Yeah.
You know, and there's also some lesson that I am learning here. She went missing for 3 weeks, but for that one person that she mentioned and said, my sister's fiance is picking me up.
Yeah.
They still would be searching and not
That's
find
true.
her.
And nobody would have come out.
Exactly.
Because the intention is to hide the crime in a way that nobody will trace it.
You see, so I mean, this chief, you know, who has a house in Mankessim, actually commits the crime in Mankessim, but he's a for him a Acquah.
Yeah.
But the challenge is, I mean, I'm just asking myself the simple question. Imagine.
If you can build your own house, what
Yeah, I mean,
are you taking a life for 15,000?
Exactly. Imagine,
Really?
imagine that, you know, you are a sibling or parent of this girl.
Yeah.
Who's supposed to go through an interview and be giving admission in order to become a nurse. Now, the trust issue here is that, after the interview, your sister, my sister's boyfriend, says, he's picking me up. At least everybody would trust a sister's boyfriend who says, I'm picking you up, in an area where you do not know a lot of people. And also in the kind of situation we find ourselves, when you're told, somebody who can help you, you would fall for it, like you would say. You would buy into this argument and say, let me do everything possible to get this job.
To improve my
or to go
chances.
to school, after all.
Yes.
Because, you know, we're in a country where people would go to nursing colleges age 17, 18, 19. So if you're 25 and you're now going, you'd want to do everything possible in order to get into the institution. What I do not understand is, and in fact, the moment she went missing, because the police has not been giving her information, so when they called, did the family inform the police, for instance, that they're demanding ransom? From all indications, that is what they did, because there's a talk about 15,000 ransom. So they know. At what point in time did the police pick up the boyfriend, which was that 2 or 3 days ago? When she went missing over the past 3 weeks, did the sister not know that the boyfriend had indicated he was going to pick her? Because from the narrative given by Kodinyakun, the sister knew that he was going to pick her up. Why didn't they report him immediately? Was it a case that he joined them in search when he was actually the man who had done that? Because my understanding of how the system works is that he should have been the first person assisting in investigations. Because if you said you were going to pick her up, I am sure she probably would have told the sister when she got into the car that he's picked me up.
That's true.
And I'm saying this because maybe, just maybe, if we had done a lot of things quicker, she could have been alive.
That's true.
If we had really followed her, immediately she went missing and the demand for the ransom, we should have just started by investigating the pastor.
To the extent I had to put up notices even on Facebook and all of that.
Yeah.
And you come across some of those because people are sharing it widely. It didn't make sense. You just share it because you think, well, let's help find
Let's
this girl.
help, yeah.
But to think that it's so close to home that look at the people involved, a sister's boyfriend, you would trust such a person.
Yeah.
Then you move it on beyond that. That person is recommending another person. You trust that person too, because the person the recommendation is coming from. Who would think that these are the people who are likely to be involved in an incident like that?
I mean, there's a lot more to this yet to be uncovered, because it doesn't make sense. For instance, you talk about somebody who's built his own home. Why would he be asking for 15,000
in replacement of a life?
And this is a student. This is somebody who was going for an interview, so she would gain admission to go to school.
Yeah.
I mean, it just doesn't add up. Things. We hope that the police will connect the dots early enough.
So
And
they
we
don't
hope
let
that their
things
parents-
linger in the minds of the people
Exactly.
that this is contributing to insecurity, and that even people of this sort are likely to be involved in crime. Then how safe are we? Those are the thoughts that comes to the minds of many people when the idea of insecurity pips it. It's not the number of people or the increasing number of people who are dying. That's the most important part.
Right.
Is the how heinous the crime is. It's how people think this is preposterous. This cannot happen. How are we allowing this to happen in the community?
Yeah.
How people feel they are unsafe with the people they should be safe with. that's what contributes to the insecurity of all of this.
Yeah.
So you assure people, you come out, you set the record straight, you make sure that people are updated consistently about what is happening with the investigation and everything. So we know that there are still institutions of state that are bent on protecting the vulnerable, the poor, and when people do wrong, they are paid for it.
Thank you, Ray, for touching on that. See, I don't understand why police is waiting for the people to be taken to court before we get some sort of update.
It doesn't sound like the that kind of policing.
Exactly. What happened to police updating journalists who keep calling and asking lots of questions? And right now, I think it's moved even beyond journalists. There are ordinary people who also want to understand.
Last night, it was the number 2 trending issue on Twitter.
Okay.
It obviously has public interest.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And that's why we're discussing. But finally on this, maybe the police is, in other jurisdictions, Raymond, in, where you studied law, if you are arrested for something, they keep your name and until, the court documents, until the investigations are presented to the courts. For instance, that Mason Greenwood, the Man United player, when he was arrested for alleged sexual assault, his name was never mentioned by the police. It was not until, the police conducted their investigations, then took him to court, where he was granted bail, that his name came out. So maybe.
But that hasn't been our practice.
Yes.
What our practice, and in recent times, that's been happening, and we've been saying big ups to the police. That's to keep the faces of the suspect out of the public domain. But we've seen suspects, names come out. But our interest is not even necessarily the names. Just give a proper narration in terms of, we're confirming that we've made this arrest. They are alleged to have been involved in this. I mean, just the standard thing that happens always in Ghana. I mean, police would even organize like a press conference.
Yeah, that's what the police has done,
brief.
actually.
Sometimes they will call pressmen to come and take photos of suspects.
The police actually did that. They talked about, we've arrested 2 persons. In the case of the chief, they went to the house. And when they went to the house, so people came around, and so they saw him. And the police indicated they had also arrested a pastor, and the pastor led them to the chief. They have said they are conducting the investigations and would make information available as and when it becomes necessary. Of course, the journalists have been asking, what is the name of the pastor, where is his church and all of that. But the police still insist we are conducting our investigations. At the right time, we have told you it's a pastor. Wait till we go to court. Wait till we're done with our investigations. We'll tell you more. But even as we talk about this, over the past few days, the IGP has been in Wa, for instance, in the Upper West region.
Yeah, and of course, there are a lot of updates on that on the police's websites anyway. There are social media pages, that the Wa incident. Yeah.
Where also there's been killings. And now the police they made some arrests. There's 100,000 Ghana cedis for people who'd given. I'm asking myself the simple question, and in Wa we saw security persons being killed. I'm asking myself, why? What is it about this, renewed wave of killings? I just do not understand that in there, and I'm happy the IGP has gone to Wa, and I'm happy the police has actually arrested certain persons. All things being equal, this will lead to, dealing with the situation. I have seen a lot of visibility of police within Accra.
Yeah, more recently.
But I think while we commend the police for that, I think it should be extended to other parts of the country.
True.
It should be extended to other parts of the country. The police needs to get down to work. They're doing well, but they can do better. Anyway, this is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. When we return after these messages, we'll be talking about the city, because we know that the Bank of Ghana and the police have arrested some 76 people who are engaged in the illegal trading of forex. When we return after these messages, we're joined by Yao Sapong, who is head other financial institutions supervision department of the Bank of Ghana, in charge of all Bank of Ghana licensed forex bureau, rural and community banks, and microfinance institutions in Ghana.